Peggy 18.
There are certain periods of the story that, like, where these descendant characters are adults. So we had to really kind of focus on the latter part of it because we didn't really want to show, you know, these characters growing up the entire time. Although we show them in younger versions. But so for the most part, the way it affected us, it kind of pushed it, you know, towards the latter part of it, where we see some of these characters, Kano and Raiden and Sub-Zero, all in their kind of older forms. The characters like Cassie Cage is like kind of a descendant of Johnny Cage and Sonya, and so we thought that, you know, showing them as fightable characters was probably the most interesting, so people can actually play as them, and so that means they're adults, which kind of pushes us into the latter part of the story. I think one of the most interesting thing about these descendant characters is seeing them interact with their, you know, elder relatives, and so, you know, there's cousins and sons and daughters and all that stuff that we're going to be introducing, but, you know, to me the most interesting thing is seeing them interact with the characters that everybody knows. We haven't determined the final DLC characters in the game. Rain was a DLC character in MK9, so the only thing I would say to that is his chances would be less likely, and because we want to do as much new stuff as possible in Mortal Kombat X. There currently isn't a Mortal Kombat versus project in the works. There's a nostalgia side of me that would love to see a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter if we were allowed to make like an M-rated game. I think that people might, there's a novelty to that, but the chances of that happening are pretty low. It's a possibility, but not a probability. In my opinion, the fact that we've been very aggressive with not being afraid to change things up. You know, you know, if you play Mortal Kombat 1, it plays nothing like, you know, Mortal Kombat Deception, which plays nothing like Mortal Kombat 9, and Mortal Kombat X with its variations has, you know, something that hasn't been done before in any other Mortal Kombat game. So we're not afraid to just add new things, really mix things up so the experience is different with every game. Unfortunately, you know, some other fighting franchises have repeated the same thing but with a prettier skin, and they've just kind of faded off into like obscurity, and that's something that we've really tried not to do, is to just put the same game. Like Mortal Kombat X isn't MK9 with prettier graphics, it's a whole new kind of fighting system. For people who are familiar with Mortal Kombat, we first had the Fatality, and then we added a Babality, and we added friendship moves and brutality moves and all these crazy things over the years, and we are going to be reinstating an ality. From a previous game into Mortal Kombat X, and I can't wait to be able to talk about it, but at the moment I can't. Currently, we've only announced that it's coming out in 2015. I'm sure within the next few weeks we're gonna give an actual release date, you know, month and day, but it's coming out for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and PC.